Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. So I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video, probably around a week. Well, a proper video anyway. I do apologise for that. I have been a bit busy, especially over the weekend. After the stream on Friday, I was absolutely knackered and I could barely keep my eyes open. So I wasn't really on at all over the weekend. And prior to that, I've been working on a new intro and outro, which you'll see on this video. These aren't the finalised products. I'm working on putting my logo on the intro, so it's a bit more professional. But these are kind of what you'll be seeing for a short while now, until we have a rebranding in a few months' time, probably, where I'll redo it again. So yeah, apologies for not uploading for a few days. Obviously I did do the stream on Friday, but like I said, that did kind of have a knock-on effect on the weekend, and therefore start of the week now I'm going to try and upload a couple of videos this week. And obviously on Thursday we have the start of Series 4. We did have the Series 4 stream today. I'm saying this at the time of recording. I might not get it uploaded on Monday. You might be seeing this on Tuesday, the 1st of Feb, but just depending on how long it takes to upload. So yeah, we do have all the Series 4 info now, so if you want to check out Forza's YouTube channel, they did 2 streams on Monday at around 5 and 6 PM GMT, explaining all the info I need to know. I'm not going to do a summary video on that because I know people always beat me to it, so I'll just go over it when we actually get the cars, and I'll do gameplay of them. And I've also been working on a new schedule for the channel to help improve the channel and the way we connect with viewers in the new year. So enough talking then, let's get on with what this video is actually going to be about. So here you can see we are in the 2018 Audi TT RS. This was the spring of Series 3, so this week's Car Pass car. If you own Car Pass, you're able to redeem it through the Car Pass menu. So this now means that we have 2 Audi TTs in the game. There might be 3 actually, because there was a TT something or other from 2010, I think, in Horizon 4. But as far as I know, there's 2 TTs in Horizon 5. There's this one, and there's the 2015 Audi TTS, which was actually one of the cars you got to pick at the start of Horizon 4. I didn't pick it because I personally think it looks ugly. I picked the Focus. However, it was one of the cars you were able to pick at the start of Horizon 4, and this is the facelifted version of the 2018 TT RS. So the other one's a TTS, which is just the Sport, and this is the Race Sport. As you can see, them exhausts are pretty good, and it looks a whole lot different to the older model, and thankfully so, because I absolutely hated the older models. I can't remember what generation it is exactly, but today I wanted to find out which is actually better, the 2015 Audi TTS or the 2018 Audi TT RS. So we'll compare them stock first, stat-wise, and then we're going to upgrade them to the top of A class, because both of them start in like middle to bottom of A class. And we've got a few rules that we're going to be using on both cars when upgrading them, and then we'll just do a couple of tests with them to see which of them is actually better. I've got a strong feeling it's going to be the TT RS that we're in now, purely because it's faster stock, and obviously it's got the newer tech. Therefore it's probably going to be more advanced. However, the TTS might surprise us. Maybe we're able to get more power for our PI in the upgrade menu. So let's compare the stats stock then, and then we'll see what we can do with the upgrades. Okay, so for the 2018 TT RS then, stock we have 400 brake horsepower, which comes from all 4 wheels. It's all-wheel drive. Both of the Audis we're going to be reviewing today are all-wheel drive, and that is kind of why I prefer Audi over most German brands and most brands in general, because all-wheel drive is better, especially when you live in Britain when it rains all the time and the weather's atrocious. So this is fed through a 2.5 litre engine. I think it's a 4-cylinder, although I actually think it's a 5-cylinder. Now I've said that, it's a 5-cylinder, because as I saw in AR12's video the other day, it's been banned in Canada, so Nick can't drive it. But in the UK, we can drive it as far as I know. So we've got 400 brake horsepower, 480 Newton meters of torque. We weigh 1.5 tonnes exactly, and it costs 75,000 credits on Forza. I think usually they're a bit more pricey on Forza than they are in real life. I think in real life these range from about 40 to 50 grand, depending on what kind of spec you've got on it, if you've got the full Quattro system. The stats in Forza, we have a 6.8 speed. I don't know exactly how fast it goes, but we'll check that in a minute. A 6.3 rating handling, that's probably thanks to the sport tyres and the aero we can see on the back. Whether that does anything, I don't actually know. The acceleration is a 6.7, obviously this is helped by the all-wheel drive system, and the launch is an 8.1, again helped by the all-wheel drive system. Braking is a 4.7, so we're going to definitely want to swap some race brakes on when we do our test, and off-road is a 5.2. If it weren't for the all-wheel drive, that would probably be more like a 3 or a 4. So that's the stats for the TT RS. Now if we pop over to the TTS here from 2015, we have 310 horsepower, so 90 horsepower less, and 380 newton meters of torque, so that's 100 newton meters of torque less. We do weigh less actually though. We weigh 1.385 tonnes, which isn't actually too bad to be fair. Obviously with all the advanced tech on the new TT RS, that's probably why it's heavier. Then our stats, we are 6.7 speed and 6.3 handling, so that's pretty much the same. However, the acceleration and the launch are a bit worse off. Acceleration's a 5.8, launch is a 6.4, and then braking is a 4.0, so that's not very good to be honest. And off-road again is a 5.2, helped by the all-wheel drive system. This costs 52,000 credits in the game, so probably around 35 to 40,000 pounds in real life. I don't translate to euros or dollars if you're going to ask that, by the way. So both, as I said earlier, are in A class. The TTS is near the bottom of A class, whereas the TT RS sits in the middle of A class. So we're going to upgrade them both to the top of A class and see what they can do. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run through the rules that I've already established before recording this video. So firstly, we have to keep the stock engine in both of these. They both have to be kept all-wheel drive. Obviously they're all-wheel drive stock, so we cannot rear-wheel drive swap them. I don't really know why we want to do that, but just in case. They all have to be kept on stock aero, so the TT RS is going to benefit more here because it has that rear wing. Well, spoiler. They both have to be kept on stock tyres, so for the TT RS it's on sport tyres. For the TTS, I believe it's on street or sport tyres. They must have all of these drivetrain things fully maxed out, so clutch, transmission, driveline and differential. It's definitely going to help me, seeing as I drive manual with clutch. And they must have sport weight reduction. Everything else is up to what I choose when I'm upgrading them, but I'm going to try and keep them as similar as possible. These 6 rules that I've established are just to try and keep them as same as possible, so that they're going to be round about the same kind of builds, that we can't have one power build and one grip build, if you get what I mean. So I'm going to time lapse me building both of these cars now, and then we'll just head out into the free roam and see what we can do with both of them. Okay, so for our A-class build for the TTS then, we have 438 horsepower now, we have 483 newton meters of torque, we weigh 1.2 tons, we have a speed rating of 7.6, a handling 6.8, acceleration 8.4, launch 7.9, braking 6.2 and an off-road of 4.6. So you saw kind of what upgrades I put on there, just kind of a couple of minute build. I'm not spending too much time on it. If I was doing like a competitive rivals build, I would spend more time playing with the upgrades to see which ones actually got me more horsepower and saved me PI, etc. But just for this test, I just wanted a quick build that would just kind of sum up the performance of each car. So that is the TTS. Now for the TT RS, we have 479 horsepower, 576 newton meters of torque, we weigh 1.35 tons, we have a speed rating of 7.3, handling 6.8, acceleration 8.7, we have a launch of 10, which is pretty impressive, braking of 6.5 and an off-road of 4.5. So you might say that the TT RS looks better in terms of stats, but we'll just have to find out when we actually test them. And it's not just about how fast they go, it's about how easily they drive, how easy would they be for someone to get used to if they were a novice, and how easy or how far can they be pushed, if you get what I mean. So we'll go and find that out for ourselves now. But just before we do, I want to show you a party trick on the TT RS that you may have seen, but if you haven't, and for some reason haven't, I don't know how you have managed to stay away from it, I'll show you it now. So we're obviously not going to apply this, but you may have seen it on videos such as Dubs, AR12 Nick, Black Panther, etc. If you follow any of them channels, you're bound to have seen it. If you managed to stay away from it, then well done, to be honest, because it's quite hard to stay away from something like this. But if you go into the rear bumper in the aero of the TT RS and do this, swap on the Audi Sport rear bumper, well, you don't really have a rear bumper. And if you go around like this, you can see that the exhausts aren't actually attached. The massive exhausts aren't actually attached, and you can just see a black hole. So the only way you can get around that is by putting the Quattro front bumper on, and then the Sport rear bumper. If you don't put the front bumper on, you will have no rear bumper. Simple as that. So obviously I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, there's the party trick for you. Right, now let's take these cars to the road. Okay, so mandatory sound tests here. Quick warning, by the way, the TT RS does sound better with the stock exhaust at low revs. And to do this, you're probably best using manual, and if you've got a wheel, it's really nice if you just press lightly, see it at about 2000 RPM with the stock exhaust, and it sounds really nice. The race exhaust is also quite meaty, but with the upgrades we put on it, it's a bit different. So anyway, quick sound test for you. And then we'll hop in the TT S and do a sound test in there. Okay, so TTS sound test then. Yeah, quite a distinct difference, as you can see. So sound test and builds over, and fun fact, in the case of the TT RS, let's see what these things can do. So I'm going to take them to one of the road circuits on the map. I'm going to enter it in A-class rivals, do a couple of laps, and we'll see how fast these TTs can actually go. Okay, so starting off with the TTS then, we're going to head over to the Arch of Moulage circuit. We'll use this circuit for both of the cars. Heading over to the A-class leaderboard. I've picked this circuit just because there's straights, there's high speed corners, low speed corners, etc. It should test pretty much every capability of the car. So from my rival, I'm just going to pick anybody really. It doesn't really matter who I pick. I'll just pick my previous rival of 1014, and we'll see where we go from there. TTS first, and then me presuming that the TT RS is going to be faster, we'll hopefully then be able to hunt down this time in the TT RS. So I'm going to skip now to my best lap and show you that, and then I'll see you when I've done it. Okay, so now that we've used the TTS, it's time to rival that in the TT RS. So first let's just see what time we got in the TTS when it loads. Okay. Right, so we got a 101.028, so basically a 101 dead, which puts us around 7,500 in the world. Bear in mind there's probably a couple of thousand cheaters. So now we're going to go and try and beat that in the TTRS in just a couple of laps. I think that took me 5 or 6 laps. So now we'll just go and try and beat that in a couple of laps to see what we can do. Now before we check my result for the TT RS, I have to say both of these cars are absolutely brilliant, way better than I expect them to be actually, and the power difference between the two really does not make much difference at all. The TT RS might have been slightly faster and did have a bit more grip because of its slightly more sporty tyres and advanced technology, but overall really good competition, and I'd love to see if they were put up to get against each other with some proper competition, like with world record holders and driving them. I'd love to see what would happen because I think it would be incredibly close. So let's have a look then. What was the actual difference between the times? We know that I beat the TTS time in the TTRS, so I got a 1 minute 0.661, so it's about 0.5 of a second difference. However, if I was to take these cars for another 5 laps, I could probably beat both of their times by around a second. Really good cars actually, and you could definitely get top 1000 with these tunes, in which case I shall share both of these tunes for you to try out if you do want to try them out. And if you would like to see more of these videos in the future, it doesn't have to just be with new cars that come in the Festival Playlist or Car Pass. It just could be any car if you want me to compare different McLarens, different BMW M3s, whatever you want me to compare. We know that there's a new VW Golf R coming in the Car Pass next month, so if you want me to compare the different Golf Rs that we've got, I think there's 4 or 5 of them in the game, then just let me know in the comments, because it is actually a different video idea that I've enjoyed making today, and that I would definitely consider doing in the future. So if you'd like to see that, then please do subscribe to the channel. It would massively help me out, and just leave me some of your ideas below to help me out as well. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you like the new intro and outro. Like I said, I'll be making a few adjustments to the intro in particular in the next few days to finalise that, but this is the product for now. So thank you for watching once again. Hope you enjoyed this new kind of video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!